Yay, live.
Good evening and welcome to Jackal Garage. We're gonna build cars today because I don't have a slogan for Jackal Garage yet, so I need to work on that. But it is our Monday, so
It
this is
is
when we
Monday.
get to build cars and have a good time. So how are you
Cars.
doing? Build
I'm doing
cars.
good, sir. I'm getting my table set up to build cars. I had to switch from little toy soldier mode to little diecast car mode. So
That is something we get to do every once in a while. Um, just my week's over, believe it or not. Today is my Friday. Hey, Tim, how you doing, buddy? I'm off the
woo!
next 5 days. Hi,
Oh,
Jim. How
you
you doing? Oh,
gotta love that.
do you know Jim?
Jim Porter, hey buddy, how you doing?
Hey, he's saying
He is
hi.
an old friend of mine from he's from the G or the Battlefront days back when I
Battlefront.
was with Battlefront. Yeah. Yeah, I haven't seen him in forever, but yeah. Greg,
I don't know if I want to repeat that one. What he just wrote.
I
Hi,
I
Greg.
I did warn you about Greg. Yes,
You did warn me about
yes,
Greg.
yes. I am innocent on all of this.
I love it. Anyway, so yeah, I'm off the next 5 days as the world comes to an
Woohoo!
end. And hey, Robert, how you doing, buddy? He shot us a YouTube link. I'm sure it's to something.
Well, I will
Oh,
check it out after the show.
something new to show you guys. All right, I didn't see the first comment, so yay! I'll have to check that out.
That'd be cool. That'd be
Sweet,
cool. So, what are you working
sweet.
on today?
Actually, we're gonna add the front wheels to that Mustang. We
Ooh,
didn't get a chance to do that. Plus, Greg, a couple weeks back, asked me about creating bullet holes in diecast cars, and I kind of stumbled across a technique that might work for him or
right?
everybody, for that matter. And so that I am Jeff corrupted me. Yes, Jeff corrupts us all. I'm going to show that. I want to show that technique. I'm going to put some bullet holes in the side of the Mustang. I'm pretty
Sweet.
excited about the technique because sometimes when you're just putzing around, you discover new ways of doing things.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, what about yourself?
Yeah. I'm gonna be finishing up the paint job on the dynamic dually because I got some detail back in the back. I want to get painted up.
Sweet.
And then I'm going to switch because it won't take more than maybe 5-10 minutes to finish up the dually, and then I'm going to switch to my Big Air Bel Air.
Sweet. And we should let
That
everybody know ahead of time. Jeff is having internet issues, so
I am. I
so
am.
if he cuts out and it just is me on screen, he'll jump back in if he can. But is it storming out there or is it
It
just cold?
it's just rural internet has
Okay.
days where it doesn't work. It has nothing to do with Monday Night Football that started in a little while ago. Nothing at
But
all.
who's
So
playing?
I couldn't even tell you that. I really
So
couldn't
obviously
tell you
it's
that.
no one that you really want
Yeah,
to see.
yeah, no, it's nothing,
Okay. So
nothing.
just bear
Not
with us
football.
as it's not football. Also, we announced on Saturday, and for those of you that may not have seen the Saturday show, we started a Discord channel.
Woohoo!
So we pushed out invitations on the What's New with Mike and Jeff and Jackal Garage Facebook pages. So they're 1 day invites. So if you're interested in becoming part of our Discord group, please feel free to accept that invite and join us on Discord. It is where we're trying to show more of the work that we're doing and just kind of build more of that community in one place, so that we're not posting on 3 different Facebook pages or 15 different Facebook pages. And
And the cool part is absolutely. I have discovered that I can actually pull pics from Discord and that makes my job a little easier on getting them available for the show. And gives us a one-stop location that if you're a member, if you actually are in the group, you can post your pictures in. Makes it easier for me to get them. And speaking of showing our work, you've been a busy little bee.
I have been a busy little model builder on getting stuff
you've
done.
been.
Yeah,
That was
and
no
there's
segue.
something
I was just commenting.
there's something I built. I didn't even show everybody yet because I've been saving it for the show. So
you're evil.
Let's go ahead and show some photos. Hey, Lenny joined us. Me and Adam are both on disc. Looking forward to following your sweet Lenny. We'd love to have you, buddy.
As soon as I remember how StreamYard works, I'll get this going.
You got to push all the right buttons.
I know, that's my weak spot.
So there you go.
Ta-da!
So this is my Michigan build that I have been working on, and had a lot of fun building this. It's got that crazy weapon on the back of it that the Michigans are known for, and I can run that weapon as a few different things, so I'm kind of excited about that.
Sonic Blaster.
That's kind of, and the Michigan is they're a very advanced sponsorship. So their cars are a little bit more futuristic and cleaner, as you can tell by my paint job. Super clean paint. Did a sports car, so it's only got one person in it. And
it looks like it came straight out of Speed Racer.
That's the look I was going for.
Well, that's what you've successfully accomplished that.
Well, all right.
And then so that's one, and then we've got your wheel.
Yes. So this is just that crazy idea I had sitting in my head, and I'm glad I finally got it out of my head. I don't know how practical it is, but I'll run it on the table and see what happens.
The Una-Orc. So
the Una-Orc.
It's just odd. It looks great. It's fantastic as far as what you put together and how and everything else. I'm trying to picture myself being on the battlefield or on this track and seeing that rolling towards me. It would just freak me out.
The dreaded man mangler, as Greg likes to call it. And I think that's how I posted it on social media. I called it the man mangler. I like it.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I had fun with it. And again, sometimes you ever just get those crazy ideas in your head and you're just like, I just got to do this regardless.
I'm sitting here as a result of the last crazy idea you and I had. Hey, let's do a show, blah, blah, blah.
And here we go. And
here we are. And then the final one, which was this is actually back the one Monday I wasn't on because I had internet shoot something. But we never actually showed the pictures of it, and it's really worth showing off.
The Big Air Bel Air. Yeah, I'm real happy with how that simple build, nothing too crazy. Put on some guns, and I get those ideas. I bet you too, Craig.
Yeah.
Yeah, so those are the cars I recently finished. And again, I'm still trying to push forward. Darren over at the game store wants 10 cars for his shop, so I'm trying to give him a wide variety of different cars to look at and see for his collection. So cool.
But but again, these are all pulled off of Discord, and they look awesome, dude. They're really great cars.
Thank you very much.
Awesome.
So I'm going to switch cameras, and I guess do you have anything else to show?
Nope. When you're done showing what you got to show or whatever I'm working on, I want to give everybody an idea of what I'm doing with the Big Air Bel Air. Other than that, nothing.
All right, hold on one second. I'm just gonna. So camera issues. Mine got
pick right
shifted.
camera, Jeff.
Sorry, guys. I'm having some alignment issues with my camera. And I need my lines to be straight.
No, it doesn't. Yours don't bother me as much as mine do.
So when we were doing the when I did this Michigan car, I've been having this idea of how to display cars. And one of the things that you can buy over at, I bought these at Hobby Lobby, are these Hot Wheel display cases. I don't know if you can see that, Jeff.
Yeah, I can see it. Yep.
So what I did is when I built this car, I actually installed magnets where the rivets go.
Right.
And then I put nails and magnets on the base so that this is magnetized. So now my car is magnetized to this. I added some like gravel to this.
Right.
So it looked like asphalt.
Right.
And now I have a little display case for this car.
Sweet.
And then when I go to transport these, because they're magnetized, obviously if I slam my brakes and this thing goes slamming into the ground, it's probably going to come off.
Right.
But just normal driving and carrying it into the shop, it's kind of got a secure thing, and I can actually put it on display on the table when I'm playing.
Right.
And I'll just have a nice little case. So,
oh, that's good, man.
Just something I've been working on. I just thought it was kind of a cool little. I've been wanting to do something for bases and displaying the cars, and they're all going to be very specific to the cars because obviously cars are going to have posts in different places and all that kind of stuff.
Greg says you only need 5,000 more cases now.
Well, yes, I do.
It's funny because it's true.
What do you got going on with the Big Air Bel Air?
Well, actually, first thing I want to do is get to. If you notice I don't know if you can see the detail in the back of the dynamic dually here that I forgot to paint.
Right.
So I got the axle and the shocks and the just some tranny detail. I'm gonna paint that up a little bit. And then this is where I'm at so far with the Big Air Bel Air.
Did you cut the post off the sides for the? Oh no, that's where the roll bar cage is.
Yeah.
Between the back door and the back window. Or the
no,
door
there
and the
is no post there.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
I didn't remember if there was or not.
Yeah, see, you can see there's no post there at all.
Okay.
That's where I was mounting the mesh into it.
Sweet.
But again, I'm I looking at your picture and what you did with it, and look at some other pictures I found of conversions and stuff that this was done. I wanted to do so. I got these were originally the tops of the shock absorbers.
Right.
Those are going to be twin scoops. So like under the hood, there's an intake where it's an intake I saw when I was really into cars, where it was a spider intake, and it rose up from the engine block, and then each carburetor was literally on the side of the engine just above the valve covers, and it looked really cool. So I'm imagining that's under the hood with each of them having their own stack. And then what I've armed this with, what I'm building to arm this with, and will be first I'm going to be putting an armor plate back here with twin machine gun barrels sticking out of it. So it's got a rear firing weapon. I'm going to pull off camera here for just a second.
Okay.
Now I've got a lot of work to do on this as far as sanding and shaping yet, but this will be on the front.
Ooh, I can't wait to see that done. Oh, that is going to be so awesome.
So, and then I'm going to do something different with the paint on this one as well. So, but I've got a. I'm not what?
Didn't you mention you wanted spikes for the wheels?
Well, I want to put wheel spikes coming out, or not wheel spikes, but blades actually that kind of match the way this front blade looks.
So if you get a chance and you can go to like a local craft store,
right?
You can find these snap fasteners, and if you can see those little white pieces in there.
Oh yeah.
They actually, let me pull one out for you so you can get a better idea. It's kind of hard to tell. But look at that.
Ooh, that's exactly what I'm trying to do.
and they're a little sharp, but they're not super sharp. You may just want to dull down the very tips of them,
Yeah.
but they fit quite nicely on Hot Wheel cars. And there's your
Oh,
spikes, and
yeah.
then I can't. It's not
That's
glued in.
actually exactly. I was going to mount a blade coming out of each one of the things here, so this would have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 blades on it coming
Yeah,
around.
or you can just go buy these were $2.99 at Michael's,
Yeah, that's not a bad
and
idea.
you just glue one of those on and paint it up when you paint the wheels, and you've got spikes.
Not a bad idea. I'm gonna have to look into
So,
that.
and you get like, I don't know how many are in here.
Enough,
Yeah, there's plenty. I think there's 7 of them. So one pack will give you enough to definitely do one car, and then
but
you'll have some leftovers.
to help with shaping this piece, because you can see I've actually molded it to fit the contour of the front end of the vehicle.
Yes.
To make it easy, I used grid plastic with this basically plastic that's got a grid pattern on it.
Right.
You know, it looks like this. See if I can get, yeah, there it is.
Yeah.
See, look like that. And that gave me points of measurement so I could actually make sure that I got everything, you know, where I wanted it to be. And then I filled all those grids with squadron putty. So now I've got to go back over and sand that smooth, and then I got to put an edge on all these blades. And then I got to do however I end up doing the spikes, I got to get those done. I did my standard cover up the interior so I don't have to paint it.
Now you got to cover up that back window.
And now I've got to fill this back. And like I said, this is going to be a solid plate of steel that has, you know, 2 machine guns. It's going to have a port here that 2 barrels will be coming out the back of it, so it's got a rear firing weapon.
Very cool.
That's what I'm doing. And then I got to come up with a snazzy name for it, you know, like, you know, Badass Bel Air or Bladed Bel Air or the Blade Air.
Well, Greg says that it looks like the buzzsaw from the Running Man's car.
Very
so
similar.
You could call it the Buzz Air.
Buzz Air, Blade Air, yeah,
Blade Air. So
Saw Air.
Very cool. And Jonathan has joined us. So good evening, Jonathan.
Hey, Jonathan.
So I need to start deciding on my next car because this one I'm working on. It's probably going to be done next week or so. So I need to start working on my next car, and I'm thinking I'm going to do this bad boy.
Ooh.
And one of the things I want to show you guys, I've gotten into tapping out the post on my cars and screwing them back together.
Now, I remember a day you saying you were probably never going to do that. Didn't seem that big a deal to you. And
I know. But now that I'm trying to do the magnetizing thing and build the bases for them, I can use these steel screw heads to magnetize my cars down. Does that make sense?
What I'm seeing is we are slowly watching you drift away from painting anything else, and
yes,
and your hobby is now die-cast cars.
Yes. So this car is all covered up, but you don't get to see any of this detail inside. So this
my favorite car, love it.
What's that?
Can't see no detail.
Well, but you got this cool gas tank, and you got this battery back here. So I'm thinking to do for this build is I'm going to cut the trunk out back here.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm going to put, like you did, you put a guy in the front of that Erikenstein.
Erikenstein, yep.
I'm going to put a guy in the back.
Ooh, guy in
the
back.
So I'll still have that detail. I'll be able to show off that detail and then have a guy sitting back there. And then I'll just take this and cut it off. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to build some plates to cover up these windows. And then I'm going to mount some machine guns on the windows because these doors are suicide doors.
Right.
They open outwards. So I can justify having a machine gun sticking out and someone could still open the door.
Sweet.
So that's what this build's going to be. So
sounds like a plan.
I'm going to dunk this into the citrus strip.
Right.
And get the paint stripped off. And then that will be the next car I start working on.
That's good. That sounds like a major project, though.
Yeah. Not quite Gaslands, but I finished the wooden plinths and assembled my lower legs. Sweet, congratulations! And you can talk about anything here, Jonathan. It doesn't always have to be Gaslands.
I just don't show anything but Gaslands pictures.
Yes.
I think that's the only thing we limit on.
And Greg said that's before we went full blown gas geek. Yes,
Yeah,
I am full blown gas
I'm
geek.
telling you, I'm going to start seeing. I'm working on New York or something on the Wednesday or Saturday show, and he's going to have some. I got to get these diecast cars done.
Oh, well, wait till I start playing all the time.
Which is perfectly fine. Well, I know exactly what's going to happen because you go through this every time you start something new.
I know.
I'm not. It's not. It's not a big surprise. I just gotta set the timer as to when the new
Is this kind of like GW resetting the clock when people talk about like squats and stuff?
Mm-hmm.
So what we're gonna do for this car is tonight we're gonna add in the axle. But before we do that, I want to share with you how I'm going to put bullet holes in here. This was a question brought up by Greg a couple weeks back. And,
I'm sure before Greg had that question, he shot a couple cars and realized the bullet holes were a little big.
Well, I've never done it before. So what we ended up talking about was, well, you can always do the whole drill trick and just drill the holes and it should be fine. But one of the things with drilling the holes is you don't get any buildup of material around the hole. You just got basically a hole in the car. And one of the things I use for taking my cars apart is this punch.
Right.
And I just picked this up over at Harbor Freight for like $5. And I was like, well, I wonder if that would put a hole in a car. So I took some of my scrap cars and started punching holes on them, like just hitting them. And it was putting in great indentations. However, it is a bit strong. So if I wanted to put holes on the roof, you have to find a way to make sure you can support this when you're using the pin punch. Otherwise, you're going to collapse the roof.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's important. But what you can do is just grab one of these. And I'm just going to put 3 small holes. And I just want to find the best. I want as much support as possible. And it is hard for me to do on my workbench here. And then just hit it a few times. And it's going to give you a good hole. And I don't know if you're going to be able to see that hole. But it just gives you a nice good hole, and it builds up a little bit of material around the center where it got punched.
Right.
That way it's going to have a little bit of a edge, so when you dry brush it silver to get some of that detail out, it'll be there.
That's also accurate to a bullet hole.
Yeah.
The metal on a bullet hole going through an armor plate or a metal plate, the metal flares back toward the direction from which the shot came.
Right.
Because of the kinetic energy it releases.
So this is kind of how I'm doing it. And it's just not a drilled hole. You need a tiny hammer. Why do I need a tiny hammer? Because this one punches itself. This is one of those it starts a hole for drilling. So it's got that little spring loaded.
But you're zoomed in so far we can't see, but I'm looking.
I'm sorry.
Yep.
I was trying to show off those little holes.
Well, were you showing him how that worked, actually, right?
Yeah. So this is actually one that snaps back. I'm trying my best to show everything here. I guess if I just wanted to take and just ram a hole or just ram a center punch, I could. But this just offers a little bit of texture, and there's your holes. So, and again, this is just, and you can adjust this one. This is a 5-inch, but you can adjust it so it doesn't hit as hard. There's just I don't really have it adjusted too low, but I think it's just unscrews at the bottom here. I've never done it. So, but it's got some adjustments so it doesn't hit as hard. But with this, you want it to hit hard because it is going to center punch that metal. So,
and they look really good.
Yeah. So we'll get out a little bit. There you go.
Yeah, it looks good.
And again, it's flared up a little bit of the metal, so that way when you paint it, I want to hit that one a few more times. The important things to keep in mind is you just want to make sure you have a good solid surface for it to hit. If I was trying to hit this over wood or something like that, the wood would absorb probably too much of the impact from the tool.
Yeah.
So this is why I got this little handy dandy vise or iron here. Yeah, anvil. And I got this at Harbor Freight too. It was like $5. But I've had this thing forever.
Always handed hat.
Yeah. So, anyways, if you want to add bullet holes, I think this is a good method. But the important things are, good evening, David, is if you're going to do it to like the roof or the trunk or the engine compartment, you got to make sure you have something underneath supporting it. Otherwise, you'll dent these, I guess, unless you want it dented in. Because these things actually have a lot of impact. I could use these to break windows on cars to rescue people out of them if I had to.
Woohoo!
Because that's all this is kind of like a window punch. I always have multiple purposes for things and repurpose everything. So, anyways, that was my tip. And again, this was bought at Harbor Freight. I think it was like $5. So, but yeah, now I got bullet holes. But for this bad boy, what we need to do is drill a hole probably right about here so I can add in my axle. So, and we're going to pull the wheels off of this buggy because I really like how wide these wheels are on this, and I think they'll look good on this buggy. So I'll just take this apart. And this is a metal framed car. So when you try to take the axles out, working on Octara, finally found most will have. Well, congratulations on finding all your stuff. That's awesome. Moving is always a challenge. And then packing up all your stuff. So that's awesome. So because this is metal, I'm going to, you can go in here and cut that with snips, the little support piece. I don't think I've ever taken any metal axles off or metal bodies off anything on the show. Or you can try to pry it with a screwdriver or something else.
Pull your hand down a little bit, buddy.
I'm sorry.
Just a tiny bit. Yeah, there you go.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So you can try to pry this with a screwdriver to get that off. Or you can just come in here with snips. And all you got to do is cut one of them and just cut the very tip of it off. And you should be able to get it. Get that off there. Oh, I'm going to have to cut all three of them. Plastic ones are a lot easier to work with. Oops. It's giving me a hard time. It's that center one.
My phone has been blowing up, so I've been trying to deal with that. So
your phone's been blowing up.
Yeah, because of my the test I was telling you about earlier.
Yeah. This boy this one just doesn't want to come out.
Putting up a fight.
It is putting up a fight. I've never had one this stubborn before.
Oh, there it is. Ta-da!
Ta-da! Oh, he's turned. Yes, that looks great, dude.
Yeah,
I love it.
So there he is, the dynamic dually.
Sweet. You gonna clear coat it or?
I've actually already clear coated the body and everything else, so
sweet.
It is good to go the way it sits.
Sweet. Yes, Greg. Always during a demo, I get everything causes trouble. It's so true to life. So hey, I'm going
Yeah,
to show you this great new concept, and then everything goes south.
should have been inside my head during the Imperial Academy when things were all going haywire.
Uh,
Ah,
it's stressful.
it can.
So, anyways, I got those off eventually. I think that's kind of the joy of doing what we do, though, because I think people get to see, even after we've done things 100 times, not everything works out the way we think it's going to.
Well, yeah. Well, part of any doing anything like this, you have to have some kind of a crisis management. I mean, that may be a little that may be a little strong of a way to put it, but you definitely could have to handle when things go bonkers.
Mm-hmm. And you need to be ready for them.
You know, like you're painting your gigantic orc and you realize that you have inadvertently brushed red paint on the helmet horn
Oh
that you were
no!
doing something on. So you had
Oh
to,
no!
yeah, but it's just a matter of going back and fixing it, which I did. It's fine. But you have that moment where you're screaming inside your own head, going, "Why isn't this working?"
Yeah, it happens.
All right.
All right, I'm just
So,
trying to find the right bit holder. I always buy these. So it's Christmas time, and it is now time to go restock on any of your random tools you may need from your local stores. Because I know I was at Walmart and they had a Dremel kit on sale for like $20 with all the different Dremel bits and sanding discs and stuff. So it is that time of the year.
yes, yes, yes. It is. It is.
You can find all kinds of cool hobby stuff. And Hot Wheels will be going on sale soon, so.
So all is right with the world.
Yes. So fortunately for me on this build specifically, I got these two shock rods, I guess are with coil springs or something they got coming down. So I already have my center for where I need to drill, so I don't have to do any type of, lining anything up. So I just need to make sure I hit the same spot, and I'm just going to go right between them at the bottom with the drill bit right there
Right.
and drill my holes. That way I can just get the holes lined up for where the axles are going to go, and I can kind of see where how the car is going to sit afterwards.
Right.
So that's the plan. So far, though, everything has gone south. So we'll see how this goes. I guess my little adventure after work didn't help me much.
Why is that?
I don't know.
Oh,
I didn't relax or anything after work. I just kind of came home.
you know, you run around trying to get your real life vehicle sorted out, and it doesn't. It's not as easy as putting it on an anvil and punching some bullet holes in the side. Got like actual real problems you got to fix.
All right. I think I did okay. They're not perfectly centered, but what we're going to start with is we're just going to put the wheels in with the thin axles, line everything up, see where everything's at, and if I'm happy with it, then I'm going to widen out those holes and put a brass rod through there, and that's what we're going to use for the actual axle.
I may have to do the actual armor plate in my kitchen.
Why is that?
Because what I'm thinking I'm going to end up doing is I may have to boil some water and heat this plastic stock to get it to mold and contour to the curve of the window.
Got it.
See, what I'm trying to do is that.
Yeah.
But you see how there's a gap in the top, so I got to get it to actually curve a little better along that gap. Or I could go the other route, which is just build an exterior armor plate that isn't as neat to the contour of the vehicle. But I'm trying to avoid that if I can.
All right, so I'm kind of glad I did that little test fit because I wasn't high enough for these wheels to fit. So I actually need to drop this down quite a bit in order to get these wheels to fit. Still going to look good. So again, test, experiment, play with, and see how things go. Is that you?
Pencil sharpener, sorry.
That's right. This is kind of the joy of Mike is making poetry. Did I rhyme or something?
I think he's talking about that you're just poetry in motion, what you're doing.
Poetry in motion.
You know.
Oh, there we go. I think we got it. So that's what we're looking at.
Sweet.
Yeah, I wanted that really, like, old school, like, stupidly jacked up in the back.
Right.
And lowered in the front.
Yep.
So that's what I'm going for. I think I'm going to trim off, though, a little bit of the side right here so the wheels fit just a little bit better. There we go.
I'm going to set that armor plate aside for a moment.
And you started to rhyme. Oh, I was a rhyming fool. All right. So that's how the wheels are going to look. So let's get the other side drilled out.
It's going to look like half the cars I remember growing up when I was a kid, because that was the thing when I was young.
Yeah.
Get that rear end up, high tire, big tires.
So it's a little towards the back. What's cool is you put the drill bit in, you can kind of see if you're messed up or not because your drill bit's straight. Oops. I didn't cut this one yet.
Greg says Gasland's beatbox.
Yeah, we're going 80s. All right. I like it. I think this is going to look awesome. All right. So, got that done. Get a little drink of water. And then what I'll end up doing is I'll end up finishing out this bottom piece to make it look solid underneath. Just taking plastic card and doing all that. But what I want to do is I want to replace these old axles, so I'll grab my paper clips because I kind of bent this thing up trying to get it out. Because it wasn't working for me.
Not working.
It happens.
I gotta order. Sometime I gotta order more steel or a Secret War mesh.
Where did you order that from? Because I actually wouldn't mind getting a hold of some of that.
It's just from Secret Wars. It's just a they do. I got it at LVO.
Okay.
So I'll just have to do I just plan on doing a search for Secret War.
That's some good looking mesh.
Yeah, it's nice and it's to scale and.
And what I use for my Gaslands tube, I need to double check to make sure this is going to fit. Yeah, that's what I was afraid of. These are too big. I had smaller paper clips and they disappeared. I think I used them all. Because I just have brass tubing and I'll run the axles through them.
Right.
But now I gotta find my brass rod. This will actually give me an opportunity to make adjustments to it once I get the wheels on.
Yeah.
So that's kind of why I do it. Yeah, that's it. And for cutting this stuff, I just use a razor, X-Acto blade,
Right.
and I just run it like this, just back and forth, and it'll eventually just cut through the brass because
Yeah.
it's a soft metal.
Yep.
And there it goes.
My advice to anyone doing that is not to put a lot of pressure on it, because sometimes that little end piece will flip off and go flying across your room.
You know how I figured that one out?
How?
Put too much pressure on it, the thing did across the room.
I thought you got one in the eye or something.
Yeah. And you don't really want to use snips because you'll end up crushing it.
Yeah.
But brass is a soft metal, so
This should be the sanding and filing tutorial.
my camera is going to drive me up the wall tonight.
I always jump on StreamYard and make sure my cameras are positioned properly before I actually join you.
Yeah, I think I bumped mine though, and it angled in.
Well, I move my overhead camera every night so I can actually paint on my table like a normal person. Otherwise, it's right in my way. But I think later this week I'm going to be experimenting with different camera positions.
Yeah, because we were talking about making some changes there. Yeah, we'll poke our eyes out, so we got to be careful.
That's why I don't have a BB gun.
Yeah, we took it away from you.
Wasn't allowed. Said it was dangerous.
You're just a crazy kid.
I was just walking around the neighborhood, going to be very, very quiet. I'm hunting rabbits. I'm just sitting here thinking about, we talked about not putting any pressure on how long it took me to figure out that let the sandpaper do its job.
Yeah.
Don't try to force it through.
When I was gunsmithing, the gunsmith that was training me would see me like using the metal files and stuff, and would just yell at me. It's like, just let the file do the work. You don't need to work that hard.
Yeah. Yep. Because then what ends up happening, what I'd always end up doing is oversand, or that because I'm applying pressure, what people don't realize is when you're sanding, if you're applying pressure when you're pushing out and pulling back, you actually rock whatever you're using to sand, and you end up on the push out always is invariably you're pushing harder than the pull back. So you end up sanding crooked, if that makes any sense.
No, it makes perfect sense. Jonathan, you spent 3 hours setting up your camera?
To get it to where it wasn't in his way. Yeah.
Well, that's always helpful.
I've got a really nice setup. So it's easy for me to, because it's literally just one screw. I push it back and it's out of the way. And then literally when I get ready to do the show, I loosen it up, pull it back out, and I'm good to go. I just line up with my little wolf head there, and I'm set. Which is the only reason that's there, is to give me an idea where the camera's supposed to point.
Yeah.
So.
It's also good to have a bunch of different drill bits on hand.
Yes. Well, I've shown you what I do that, right?
Well, you have yours all set up.
I have all my pin vices full of them.
Yeah. You are a pin vise junkie.
Yeah. And the sad part is, at least 2 or 3 times a week, I'm grabbing into my. Because I bought one of those little magnet trays at Harbor Freight.
Yeah.
And I keep all my bits in there that I don't use as often. And I have all my popular bits, ones I use a lot, are already mounted in pin vices and in a drawer. But invariably, there's 1 or 2 bits a week I need that I. It's one of the downsides of sitting in a hobby shop all day long working on projects, and then you go, I need one of these.
And you just buy another one.
Just buy another one.
You know, that is the reason why we like people hobbying at the store. Yeah. Like, oh, I didn't know they had that.
Yippee yippee. My phone keeps going off, but it looks like people posting into. Yeah, Tim just posted some pictures up in Discord.
Sweet.
So.
Looks like Jonathan is thinking you need more pin vices.
No, I don't need more pin vices. One of the advantages of not sitting in the shop is that I'm not thinking I need more pin vices.
You sure?
Positive. Also in Arizona, I had a really sweet deal on the place that I was living.
And you literally lived down the street from a Harbor Freight. Never knew you lived down the street from a Harbor Freight until I
did not.
And you're like, what's this place?
Yes.
All right, so we got the axle in. It's a little out of adjustment, so we will adjust as we go.
Now, you seem to do a lot of work to get your axle in. I don't spend that much time with it.
Well, this is only when I'm doing a custom axle.
Oh,
okay. And the only reason I'm wanting to do this, so if I was building a die-cast race car, like if I was going to race it on a track, this is how I would build it. But for this particular car, the only reason I'm doing this is I only got these 2 little plates right here to glue wheels to. And what I want to do is I want to have a better surface to glue everything together. So by adding a new axle and creating everything, I'll be able to add the wheels in, and I'll get better glue surfaces. That's all. And I can also adjust the wheels out a little bit if I want to.
Right. Kemper in, Kemper out. Yep. Yeah.
Well, I don't have to have them going all the way. I don't have to have the wheels touching the car, the body.
Right.
I can stick them out and kind of create this look. I don't know. You can't see that. So,
yes.
From here, it's just adjustment. So that's kind of what I'm creating. And then on the side view, you can kind of see how that's going to look. It's going to be all lifted in the back and stuff. So that's what I'm trying to create here. But yeah, that's why I did this. So I'm just trying to get some ideas of how wide I want that brass tube to be. I need to trim just a little bit off the fender right here. Actually, I'll just file it. So yeah, this is what I do. So and if I was to ever like try to put an axle just on the bottom right here, having the tube, you can just kind of glue the tube down, and you could just have that axle right there. So it is one way of kind of lifting cars in the back. Is just add the axle to the bottom of the chassis.
Cool. Good to know.
Fun stuff.
Good to know.
Yeah, that fits a lot better. Boom. Both lower legs are built. Look at you, Jonathan. Getting stuff built. Alright, so now how much do we want to cut off of this brass rod? Yeah, it's fun to start a new project and you just get super excited about it and you just can't put it down. We knew what you meant. We speak Jonathan.
We speak hobby guy because that's really all he says.
Yeah, that's true.
We know that feeling of, there were days like, man, I can't wait to get home to work on this.
Right.
It would have been much better if I just went out and bought a saw blade and found a way to mount the saw blade itself. I wouldn't have to put the edges on all these. Because what I'm doing right now is going down the edge, putting an angle on the corners so it looks like it actually can cut you.
Well, that's what you want, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. It's just tedious, and now it's pointy, and it's hurting my pinkies. My little pingles. It's hurting my pinkies.
Jeff hurt his pinkies.
My little pingles. I've never given a blood for a model. Oh, wait a minute.
Blood for
That's
blood,
not
good.
true. No one ever knew that Corn was a model builder.
So I kind of got the axle. I got enough play in it to where I can get it in straight. Now comes the hard part, getting it in straight. So again, it's Gasland, so if the wheels aren't perfectly straight, I don't know who's going to really complain.
God, I'm so glad that cough isn't what I thought it was going to be.
Half a lung coming out.
Something like that. Or as my grandson says, you got the Rona.
My Corona.
I actually ended up missing my family's Halloween party.
Really?
Because that's when this whole thing I told you about today started. Son just wasn't feeling good. So
not good.
I discovered today it was a nasal or a sinus infection, a really bad sinus infection.
Oh, hobby question. Okay. Hit us up, Jonathan.
HOBBY is how hobby is spelled. Now he's right now checking his typing to make sure he didn't have a typo in it.
All right, I think I'm content. I like how far the wheels are sticking out.
Right.
I don't want them like right up against. I don't want them in with the body because it's a lifted vehicle, so I want them kind of sticking out.
Right.
And I got that nice lowered look.
Oh, sweet.
So now we'll get the axle glued in place. and then we'll get all the wheels and everything glued on. We'll be good to go. Let's read Jonathan's hobby question.
Yeah, you can sand them with either you can file down the rough edges with a regular file, like a needle file, and then you can sand them with a just like you sand anything else. You just have to start with a heavier grit initially and work your way down. You can go all the way down to 600, depending on how smooth you want it to be, and then wet sand it when you're done if it's going to be painted, so you get rid of all those sand marks. So it's just like sanding plastic. You just have to start with a heavier grade paper.
And if you're going to use files, brass will clog up the files real quick. So just make sure you can knock them out, or if you have any way of brushing off the.
Yeah, a really good piece for that is I bought a one of the little wire brushes. You can get them there for welders to brush off the weld area, and then just have that on your table. Then you can run your file across those metal bristles, and that'll clear the loose brass out of the teeth of the file.
Brass is just super soft.
It fills everything.
Yeah.
You bet your brass.
I see what you did there.
Is it like that?
I like that.
Still keep it a PG.
Still, well, keeping it grandpa.
Did you call me old?
Nope.
Think you did.
Nope.
Just
called you grandpa.
Well, that would be a true fact. So I really can't.
You could be a young grandpa.
I am a young grandpa, actually, to be honest with you. I had my first grandkid when I was 48.
See?
Which is a young grandpa.
Well, it's soft, but when I had to cut through, well, yeah, Jonathan, when you're cutting through an 8mm rod of brass, it's time consuming.
I thought he had the wrong channel up when he said it's soft.
Poor Jonathan.
Keeping it clean.
So sorry, you guys. I'm a little off camera. I'm using the lines on my mat to line up my. Oh, you can kind of see what I'm doing. So I'm using the lines to, with the front bumper, so I can make sure my axle's in straight. That is why we buy these mats. Well, that's why I bought this mat.
Jonathan says he owes you a new blade.
No, don't worry about it, buddy. I lent him one of my hacksaws for cutting all of his stuff up.
From your little jeweler saw, or?
No, just a regular hacksaw. Like not a hacksaw, like you just attach the blade to like a handle type thing.
Oh yeah, okay, I know what you're talking about.
I don't know how it's still a hacksaw, it's just not a regular hacksaw. Alright, I think I'm good. And I love this IC 2000
right
glue. I just think it's great. I actually used it to fix one of my paint caps. So this cap cracked right there.
Yeah, the dropper bottles can do that if you tighten them too tight.
Yeah, and I just filled it with this black, because this glues everything supposedly. So I was like, well, let's see if it can do anything with that stuff. Because with die cast, and it's just a variety of different types of plastic.
Yeah.
And obviously I'll just use the axle to poke the hole out. There we go.
I rewatched the Band of Brothers documentary again today.
The whole series?
No, not the Band of Brothers series. There was a companion documentary HBO did when they did Band of Brothers.
Oh, okay.
You know the little excerpts during the actual series where you actually got to see the actual people.
Yeah, the
That was
soldiers talking.
those were cut from an actual Band of Brothers documentary that they did.
Sweet.
So I got there. I was watching that today. It's like the third time I've watched it. So it's a great documentary.
When you started talking about watching, I'm like, holy crap, that's like a lot of movies.
I just watched Band of Brothers 3 or 4 months ago. I watch it at least once a year. I usually try to watch it around June.
About the same time as one of the battles?
Or
some particular?
Normandy. June 6th. Yeah.
So did you watch Mandalorian?
I absolutely watched Mandalorian.
Oh, so what'd you think?
I loved it.
It was a great way to start the series off. I
thought so too. There were no.
What?
I was afraid that was going to happen. Oh, I've been moving I'm trying to cut the actual edge and all that, and basically the plastic is starting to separate at one of the groove joints. It's easy to fix. It's just a pain in the ass.
It's just not something you want to fix.
Yeah. No, it was excellent. It was absolutely excellent. I can't say enough good things about it.
We can't talk about it. We can say it's great and wonderful.
No, I'm sorry. That's not my problem, Jonathan. Go away if you don't want to hear anything about it.
It's kind of like showing up to our show late.
Yeah. Get with it. There's certain things in life, Jonathan, you have to prioritize. Mandalorian is one of them.
Yes.
It's like I'm raising my brother's kids, man. You know I love you, Jonathan. I'm just teasing. So we won't talk about it anymore. But just for that Wednesday show, you are not allowed to participate in the movie portion of the show.
Yes. You are Mando Bando.
Oh, there you go. There you go. I like that. Mando Bando.
Mando Bando.
Mando Bando.
Ooh.
I didn't realize.
You can't build a warhound while watching Mandalorian? Slacker.
Did he literally just try to say his warhound was more important than Mandalorian?
I think he did.
Did I almost threw a spoiler out there in frustration just because.
Just because he said that?
Just because I was so frustrated and try to make a point as to why you should have already seen Mandalorian. If it wasn't for the love in my heart I have for you, I would be like raging right now. Raging!
My oldest and I watch it together. Okay, we'll let that fly.
That's all right. Fair enough. That's.
I think the cat just dragged something in the house because I heard my wife screaming no. And usually that's when the cat has dragged something into the house that's probably isn't supposed to be in the house.
Oh man, I gotta fix this.
What is it?
This is where it's busted. I'm just gonna
just finish it off.
Yeah, I'm just gonna break it off and I'll glue it back together when I put it on. It's a nice thing. It's plastic stock. It'll glue together real easy. But because I knew that was one of the downsides of using that grid sheet, because those break really easy right there where they have it gridded out. One of the downsides to using that plastic.
All right, there's that bad boy.
All of a sudden, for some reason, Greg called me Grandpa Jeff. I am a grandpa 3 times now. I got 3 beautiful grandkids.
Grandpa bought a rubber. Sorry, Steve Martin joke.
And I tell my grandkids the same thing I told my kids. You act like Greg and I will slap you.
All right, so the wheels are a little tilted in because they're hitting a little bit of the frame,
Right.
and we have ways of correcting that.
Woo-hoo. We have waves.
We know the way.
Now, Jonathan, you have seen Star Wars, right? So if I said your sorcerer's ways, Lord Vader, you're not going to get all freaked out on me.
You do know that Darth Vader died, right?
You do know that he's Luke's father, right? You have seen all of them, right?
And Princess Leia is Luke's sister.
Whoa.
We're just making sure Jonathan's up on everything.
Yeah, don't want to have any spoiler. We gotta have a. Do we have to have a spoiler alert now? Just for our show.
Need like a little. I think Jonathan. He's who's that?
I am my daddy. Oh, sorry. That's from those great commercials with Patrick Stewart and Mark Hamill. I love those. Have you seen them yet?
I've seen one, but I don't think he said that.
At the very end, Patrick Stewart goes, "Be careful, Mark. Daddy's not here to save you." And Hamill goes, "I am my daddy." And then then Hamill goes, "What? What'd I say?" And the commercials are awesome.
What are they selling? I forget.
They're a delivery service. One of the food delivery services. Very cool.
All right,
I don't know why. Huh?
Well, I took a little pressure off, so now the wheels fit a little bit better.
Nice.
So that's kind of what I was after.
I don't know why I'm giving Jonathan such a hard time tonight, besides just the fact that it's sheer fun. But the man did a very nice thing for me this week, so I should be a little. Nah, that's not me.
No, I was like, well, that's cute. I don't know who. Oh,
seriously,
Lana. Now I get it.
Yeah,
that's cute. That's twisted.
Yeah, it is. It's not as twisted as Joe Dirt. You're my sister. You're my sister. Sorry.
I'm pulling a Jeff. I keep pulling off screen.
Oh, that's now called a pulling a Jeff? Really?
It's
Seriously?
We actually
went there?
We named it, and we named it a Jeff.
That's awesome.
Yeah, because we care, buddy.
I appreciate it, man. I do. You know.
Oh, dude,
I have to say, we all know what doing a mic is, right?
Cutting a finger off.
No, growing some stupid ass mustache.
Oh, you had to call it. Oh, that was low. That was below the belt.
How was that below the belt?
Called my mustache stupid. My mustache has feelings, you know.
It doesn't really. Start calling you Wilford Brimley. Are you going to start saying diabetes?
What was that? About what?
About Wilford Brimley, you going to start saying diabetes?
No. I've got a new truck model for you, buddy.
Who, me?
Yes. I got one for myself first. I'm sorry, I didn't get to show you this. I know how much you like the Erikenstein, so check this bad boy out.
Oh, nice.
But look at here. See the back of it?
Yeah.
That just needs to be where you put your engine.
That just needs to be have the engine completely mounted back there.
And the thing that's cool is you got a big enough opening right here.
Yeah.
That I don't think you need to cut anything out. I think if you've got a tall enough blower, you could just put it right there. And then this is a gas tank. So you kind of have everything there to put an engine. I don't really care for this piece here. It's built into the glass, the roll cage and the lights.
Right. Yeah.
But you could always cut that and then keep it separate or just get rid of it completely.
Well, you know me. I'm just going to pop it out and put mesh in there.
And then look at this big old, I don't know if you can see this. That
The
big
bumper. Oh
bumper.
yeah.
And then you
Skid
got one
plate.
in the back. He's got big skid plates underneath. So
Yeah.
I'll have to find you one. I only found this one because this is a Target exclusive red car series is what they're called.
Okay.
And I'll need to find one for you.
John said that I started laughing out loud. Ouch, ouch, FA. That was brutal. Well,
We should have gone to Halloween.
Honestly misjudged the brutality of it, I guess. I didn't think it would be that bad. Or maybe Jonathan's got some strange, odd fascination with your stash. I don't know.
Well, Greg thinks I should have went out as a New York cop.
That is probably the best advice I've ever heard. That should have been your Halloween costume.
A New York cop.
Yep. Or a chippy.
We actually went to Fleming's restaurant, and I had my first tomahawk steak.
How did that go, by the way? Was it good?
I thought it was amazing. I've never had a tomahawk steak before.
Yeah.
And they actually cut it off the bone and sliced it up. And it was just a great experience. We've been to Fleming's before. It's a great steakhouse.
Right.
But that tomahawk steak was just the bomb. Really loved it.
That's awesome, dude. I'm glad I went well.
Yeah, we had a good time, dude.
Yeah, I was like, I sent a text out. Oh crap! This is the anniversary. What am I doing?
It's all right, dude. We were leaving at that point, so I didn't get the dirty looks.
I completely spaced it.
All right, so I just need to shave off a little bit. A tomahawk steak is really just a ribeye steak, but it's a really thick cut. The steak itself is 36 ounces, and you get 26 ounces of actual meat on it. But it's just a ribeye steak, but it's just a really thick cut ribeye steak. And the reason it's called tomahawk is because the bone sticking out of it, you can hold it as a handle, and it looks like a tomahawk. So that's why it's called that. But it's just a good steak. I like dead stuff.
Now I'm all hungry.
Or Teddy Roosevelt. I could do Roosevelt.
Oh, yeah, good. There you go. I made a big batch of my homemade fried rice today.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Oh, did you go to your doctor for your food, your diet stuff?
That is Thursday, sir.
All right.
So I'll get my first official weigh-in and all that. Jonathan, I haven't gone to Ruth Chris, and I know we have one in Arizona. It's just on the east side, and to be honest with you, I try to avoid the east side.
Ruth Chris is a much ado about nothing, if you ask me.
It's a big fancy name.
It is. It's a big fancy name, and they have one of them at one point in time had a great reputation. But every time we went out to do anything for Battlefront or for Games Workshop, we would always at some point we would end up meeting at Ruth Chris and getting steak. And I was never it was never a ooh, that was a really good steak, or I got better steaks at the steakhouse in my hometown. So
I know, right? I think I need nachos. It's nacho time.
I'm going to tell you right now, if I see a restaurant that has a Michelin star, I think they sell tires. Because that's normally what I find when I go to these restaurants. Their steaks are just not what I want them to be. And if I'm going to go out and spend a lot of money on a meal, such as like you would spend at Ruth Chris, I'm going to get a steak. And it better be good.
Well, it better live to the reputation and match the price. The tomahawk we got from Fleming's was $95.
And it was great. And it was good. And it was good, right?
Worth every penny of it.
There you go. I used to love that steakhouse up on, it was off of 19th Avenue in the North Valley, Big Apple.
Yeah.
Something's Big Apple. I don't know if it's still there or not.
Bill Johnson's Big Apple.
Bill Johnson. That steakhouse was awesome. Wow, we're going one extreme to the other. We go from Ruth Chris to Denny's. Oh, hang on a minute. My neck almost broke. Got shifted that quick. Woo! Funny enough, one of the best. Yeah, no, actually, one of my favorite things when we did the show Saturday morning was after the show, Mike and I'd always pop up to Denny's and have a nice little breakfast. And it was a really good breakfast. It was, for the money you're paying and where you're at, you just get to sit, have some tea, and have a good breakfast.
Who was our waitress? Because we see her
every time. Jenny, was that her name?
No, that don't sound familiar.
I forget what her name. Oh, I feel bad now. But yeah, we'd always walk in and ask for her because she took care. There's that other one, that other dingbat.
Oh yeah.
Really? This bacon looks crisp to you? Okay.
Yeah, a lot of times local steakhouses are the best. Yeah.
Black Angus.
Black Angus. Stuart Anderson's, it does have some good steaks.
Well, we used to have my favorite place when I was a kid was York Steakhouse in Springfield, Ohio, at the Springfield Mall. It was absolutely, and it's actually the restaurant where my dad actually let me get a steak. When I was a kid, we always had to. My dad always ordered for us at the steakhouse, and we always got the chuck steak, which is just basically a gigantic hamburger.
The cheap steak.
Yeah. And then one day we're in line, and it's not even my birthday. Dad just wanted to go to the mall, and we're ordering, and I'm just standing behind him, waiting to hear the infamous words. He'll have the with baked potato and blah. Well, actually, I had to get steak fries, and he looked. He stopped and he goes, "I don't know, Jeff. What kind of steak do you want?" I thought it was a trap.
It's a trap.
So I thought, I'm going to say T-bone, and he's going to backhand me. I know that's what I said. You ain't big enough. And I said, can I get a T-bone, Dad? And Dad went, sure. He wants T-bone. And then he goes, how do you want it done? I'm like, oh, God, it's a test. and then because my dad was, you ate steak well done. And I went medium rare, and I'm waiting for the trap. I'm like, here it comes. And he goes, medium rare. He goes, you're like your mother. Okay. But I got to order my first steak. It was awesome, and it was just great. But and it's really hard to believe that as a kid, you get excited because your dad let you order a steak.
Well, it is a bonding moment between a father and son.
Like a rite of passage. I will have a T-bone, Father, and I want it medium rare because you eat leather.
I don't think you're supposed to say that.
No, I didn't then. But yeah, my
steak fries and gravy.
Oh yeah, good stuff. And then, but we also had a Ponderosa close by, which wasn't too bad.
I've never heard of a
Ponderosa. Okay, it's a. You remember Sizzler?
Yeah.
Ponderosa was what was on the East Coast.
Okay, same thing though.
Virtually the same thing. Yeah.
All right.
I'm going Sizzler. I'm going. Oh, sorry. Now I'm sitting here going, I want a steak.
Sorry.
Yet another thing I miss about Arizona.
Going out and having steak.
Well, in Arizona, I was renting the master bedroom in that condo, and so I wasn't paying anywhere near for living expenses. I wasn't paying anything near what I pay here. So once a month, I would go. Every month when I went to the grocery, I bought a steak, and I had a steak and mushrooms. I made myself the whole thing one day a month, and it was awesome. I can't afford to do that here every month.
No.
So.
Oh, going to Dunkin' Donuts on Saturday morning. Yes. That was a treat. Didn't happen often, but
I have to tell you, my most relaxing time of the day is I go in the morning. I get up, I drive into Elkton, which is the town I live in, and I go to Starbucks, get my drink, and I usually have some kind of. Now it's because I'm on my diet. It's just like a banana, and I get a Starbucks. I have whatever I'm having for breakfast. I pull into a parking lot right next to the Starbucks, put on my audiobook, and sit there drinking my coffee, reading my news feed on my phone, listening to an audiobook before I come back and start my day. And it's probably the most relaxing thing I do in a day. So,
well, there's my build.
woohoo!
Winchell's Donuts. I haven't seen.
Oh, that looks awesome, dude.
So you can visually see, like, how it's gonna stand on the ground.
That's crazy. I knew guys that had cars like that.
Yeah, but I think it's gonna be kind of a cool throwback.
Yeah.
I left the wheel. This is why I wanted the wheels to stick out in the front
Yeah.
to match the back, so it all looks a little symmetrical.
Yeah.
And we got those bullet holes. So now I got to figure out what weapons I'm going to put on it. And I haven't quite figured out what I'm going to do for weapons yet. What do you think?
Oh, man.
I could do drill the headlights out, put the tubes coming out the headlights out the front, which would be cool. And these are KC lights down here. Because this thing was 4-wheel drive all the way around.
Jonathan, that's why my phone is shut off during that. Well, yeah. So, but I appreciate the thought. I've never heard of Farrell's Ice Cream Parlor, Greg. No, it looks good, dude.
Yeah, I just got to figure out weapons. And again, simple's not
bad. Let me see the back end of that car again. Are those mud flaps?
Yes.
That's awesome.
And I'm going to leave them on there.
I would too. That's great.
I think it's just awesome that there's going to be little mud flaps back there. And I can also drill the gas can out and put a barrel coming out of that. And I'm also thinking about, because I got this the set from Hobby Lobby, taking that 55-gallon drum.
Right.
And mounting that back here as the gas tank. So just have like this big old drum back there. Just kind of, put some chain on it or some cable or something holding it down.
Yeah.
Just make it kind of look a little post-apocalyptic.
That would look cool, dude.
Yeah, but I don't. If I do so because it leans down so far in the front,
right?
I'm gonna have to make sure the barrels are.
Actually, you know what you might want to consider instead of mounting them off the headlights. Mount them running down the front quarter panels, but have them angled so they're level, so they'd be raised in the front.
Yeah, that's another option.
That's not a bad. That's not a bad way to go with it.
Yeah, it's kind of one of the challenges with this because it's so jacked up in the back.
Right.
Putting guns on, the guns have to be kind of more straight.
Right.
So that is going to be a challenge.
Yeah.
It's popping a wheelie.
Yeah, either way you go, you're going to have to raise them up so you're not plowing the ground in front of you.
Yeah, I'll figure something out.
Greg wants me to incorporate a Bugman's XXX barrel on a car.
There we go.
Now, the gauntlet has been dropped and accepted. I will figure that out. I actually have a bunch of resin wooden barrels I could actually use for this. That could be what goes in the back of that truck you just showed me.
What's that?
I could cut that out and put a Bugman's barrel back there.
I can make that happen.
And we'll call it tailgating.
Yes, that would be awesome. Well, that's what I got done tonight. This is, sometimes you don't get a lot done in one night.
Well, actually, you got quite a bit done. You got the tires on it.
It took time.
You got a lot more visibly done than I did. All I got was the rear end on this thing done, which actually looks much better than I thought it would.
And we shot some holes in it.
And you put some holes in it. And then I managed to get this sanded down, and I put the edge on most of the blades.
Cool.
So when that mounts to the front of the big ass Bel Air, whatever I'm calling it,
Buzz Air.
Buzz Air.
I switched cameras back, buddy.
Ah. Oh yeah, I have to remember we started an hour. My time we started at 9, not at 10.
We start a little bit earlier now.
Yes.
Well, I'll keep thinking about how I want to mount weapons on this.
Oh, something will come to you.
Yeah, because I can also maybe just cover up one of the windows and mount something on the window.
Right.
Or I could just cut the front window out and just put a machine gun on the front hood.
Well, I've got what I've got to do because I'm actually, to be honest, I'm actually enjoying this more than I thought I would.
Yeah.
Um, and so I need to inquire. I do not currently have in my. We've talked about my work schedule to keep me focused and moving forward on projects. I have not incorporated a Gaslands window of operation. I guess is the best way to put it.
It's just kind of whenever you get a chance to work on it.
Yeah, so I think Sunday afternoon may become my sit down and do my my Gaslands prep time Sunday and maybe a little bit on Monday as well towards the end of the day on Monday
So
because
Greg said, I you did the bullet holes on and made us drool about tomahawk steaks.
and 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 almost ruined Mandalorian for Jonathan.
Almost. Screw it. Put a
So
mortar on the backside. I could put a mortar.
I
on
now have to go through these cars and find the appropriate car to put a Bugman's barrel in the back of.
Well, let me. I don't know how many of those you have laying around.
But what, the barrels?
Yeah, but
I have to dig them out.
I do have to get you a care package because I still got all the Space Wolves Joe wants me to give
Oh,
you,
right.
and I've still got the big Space Marine model. Plus, I need to thin down my collection a little bit, so I may just send you a pile of cars along with all that,
Well,
and
yeah.
and you can just give them to your grandson or something like that, or your all of them.
No, I've picked up the Bugman's Challenge, and you're going to be amazed at how it looks.
I can't wait. I don't know what the barrel looks like.
It's literally just a gigantic wooden barrel. But picture a barrel that's dwarfy. So it's not where a barrel has a certain height and a certain girth.
Right.
This one is just a real round, kind of bulging barrel. So
Greg put the Bugman in your ear.
I did warn you about Greg, did I not?
Oh, you so did. You so did. So,
but no, that's going to look really great. I like what you're doing.
Yeah, I'm happy with it. And I've got like 5 of these Mustangs, so I know you're shocked, but
what? I was reading Jonathan's comment. Sorry.
Oh.
It has 6 X's on it, which it does. So the Bugman's barrel.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. No, I have like 5 of these Mustang, 4-wheel drive Mustangs. So.
Yep. I
can build others.
Hang on a minute. I'm trying to work up my shocked face.
It's not working.
Nope.
I'm a hoarder. Well, it's a great car for gasoline. So.
Yeah.
So I don't. And
well, that's why I bought 2 of that vehicle that I bought for the wheels for the dually. So.
I was actually trying to find that Stars and Stripes one.
Right.
And I couldn't even find it.
I will see where I picked this up if they got more. They had more there, so if they have more, I'll grab them for you.
Yeah, I was just grabbing stuff. I actually grabbed the Duster because I don't know if you saw the Duster, the blue one.
I did actually.
It has a metal engine in it, so I grabbed one to take the engine out.
Ooh.
Because I got a project for the engine.
Sweet.
Yeah, I'm shocked too. I only got 5, Greg. I should have like 55. So, anywho, thank you all for joining us. Mike's addiction to buying Hot Wheels.
Oh, by the way, Jonathan, after the show, I'm going to be texting you quite a bit. May or may not be about Mandalorian. Don't know if you want to read them or not.
It's going to be kind of up to you if you want to check them out. Going to be a few attachments. You might want to take a look. So, anyways, everyone, thank you very much for joining us.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wednesday night, the Wolf Den. We've confirmed Darren's going to be available.
Darren's going to be here. Yep.
Okay, so Darren will be with us, and then Saturday we're off to What's New with Mike and Jeff again, and we're starting. Thanksgiving starts Wednesday, so Jonathan's already working on his tank, and I know you're doing your tank still.
I've converted my Oktoberfest project to a Thanksgiving project.
And I'm gonna be doing one of the squig offs.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be doing it as a truck. So I'm just gonna mount a heavy, one of the heavy guns on the front in the little carriage, but it's just gonna be used as a truck with the new rules and all that. So, but it is a tank because it's a big armored squig-off, so it does count. So, anyways, join us again Wednesday night, everybody, and thank you very much for hanging out with us. And we will see you then. Take care. Bye.
Yes.